It's 9 o'clock. Please stand and join us for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, good morning. Good morning. Let's see. I guess I'd ask for a motion to approve the minutes of the Monday, December 8th, 2025 meeting as written.
I'll move.
I'll second. Moved by McCurry and seconded by Peterson. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Motion to authorize and direct the chairman to sign 8 tax abatements in the amount of $5,838.24.
What's BOTA? Board of Tax Appeals?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that was a question that I had too, yeah.
Yeah, there was quite a variety of
Yeah.
abatements there this time.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess I'll move.
I'll second.
Moved by Thompson, seconded by McCurry. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We'll do a couple more.
I think we only have one more left.
Okay, motion to authorize and direct the chairman to sign the Coffee County payroll notice for Chris Lawson, jail deputy/corrections, transfer from sheriff deputy, reassignment of duties, wage classification from 35-8 to 40-48, wage $23.55 to $23.68, effective 11/18/2025. This reverses a previous motion dated Monday, November 24th, 2025.
So what's he doing? Is he transferring to?
Did you
Jail?
decide to go back?
Well, no, he was on the sheriff's department and they transferred him
Back to the jail?
to the jail, but then they transferred him incorrectly. They wanted him to still be like an officer because he'll still carry a weapon, and do transports and stuff like that.
Oh,
So
okay.
then they had to
Change
put him in a
Change
class.
different
that.
category.
Back in a different classification.
Yeah.
I'll move for it. I'll second.
Moved by Avendroth, seconded by McCurry. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay.
So I guess that's all of our motions, so we want to go down to the basement for the wellness circuit ceremony. Do we leave the camera run while we're gone, or what do we do?
Yeah, you can, or you can shut it off. Either way, I mean,
Okay,
nothing's going to be going on.
Right.
yeah, I guess we'll shut it off and so we're not really adjourning,
No.
we're just moving to downstairs for a wellness ceremony.
Right.
All right.
You guys are welcome to come down if you so desire. Well, not really.
So, you can go ahead and go.
That's where we head. Okay, well, next thing on the agenda is Marlene Cook, interest in serving on the hospital board. Good morning.
Good morning.
Would you care to come up and tell us a little about your interest in the board and et cetera?
Well, I've had interest, always too busy to be on boards, since I'm retired now, sort of.
Yeah.
More interest in helping the county and stuff. My dad was a commissioner, so I kind of know, a little bit about the runnings of stuff, and, we was in business for 38 years, so I know a thing or two about running a business, so.
Right.
I just want to see that we still have a hospital, because there's so many hospitals that are shut down in the small communities, and that's not good.
I think that's what everybody's biggest concern is, here is maintaining.
Yeah. So, do you have any questions for me?
I have a question I've asked every candidate.
Okay.
So, what potential conflicts of interest, whether it be personal, professional, or financial, might arise for you in this role, and how would you handle them?
I'm not related to anybody on the board. My granddaughter does work there, but she's an RN. She has no interest in the runnings of the hospital. She has a job, you know, that's what she's interested in. I really don't see that I would have any conflicts, you know. I mean, and if there was, you just, you know, handle the situation as need be.
Yeah, about every, it's a small town, about
Yes.
everybody's got a connection with
Exactly.
somebody at the
Yeah,
hospital.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kinda hard not to.
Yeah, right.
And you still have staff.
That's right.
Well, I guess, in your view, what are the biggest challenges facing rural hospitals, and what role should a hospital board play in that role, or in addressing
Well,
those?
I think the financial part is, to me, what I see is the big part, you know, I don't really know. I just, you know, that everything gets approved. I would like to see more things of the big expenditures approved by you guys, the commission, instead of just signing a check and, you know, running it on through. You know, do we really need this? Is it gonna pay for itself? You know, we didn't buy a new piece of equipment unless we knew it was gonna pay for itself and get used. You know, same difference, you know, just on a different level, you know.
That board's pretty good size. Would you have any problems speaking up against something like that?
Nope. I am very outspoken.
Excellent.
That's
I think we got
Got a
testimonial back
Yeah, my dad did a good job of raising me that way, to speak your mind.
He's a good man. Really, really.
Is there anything else you'd like to share with us that, from your previous experiences as working with the plumbing business, that could transfer over to the hospital?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I know how to, you know, get the best prices. I was not one to call this company up and say, I need X amount of pipe. No, I called around to get the best deal. That way I could carry that on to my customers. Same way with the hospital. They should look around, you know, probably some things are one source, I would imagine, in that, you know, I'm not that, you know, but I can learn, you know. But, you know, if it's a one source, that's understandable. But if there's more than one source, let's get the best money for our dollar, you know. I mean, and I don't think it's being run quite that way, the way I see it. Rumors on the street, now whether there's right or not, you know, but.
That's what I think a lot of us find, like after we get on here, that some things are a lot different than what we perceived the job until we got here.
Yeah.
At least for me, I'll
Yeah.
speak for myself and put it that
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been quite an adjustment. Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you see the role of the hospital board member and then that of the CEO? What kind of difference is there?
Well, the CEO, I think, should see the day-to-day running, you know, and major purchases and, you know, I mean, if you need cotton swabs, you don't, you know, yeah, that's kind of nonsensical. But, you know, bigger equipment, it should be researched, it should be looked at. If there's more than one source, what the differences was, maybe one thing had, just buying a car. One has a feature that you want and the other one doesn't, you know, that type of deal, you know. But I was always apples to apples, you know, when we run business, and, you know, we ran it for 38 years, so, you know, I think we did something right, you know.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's
And I didn't try to gouged customers, you know. Wolf Creek was a great customer of ours, you know, 'cause I would do the research to find the parts they needed, which some of them were kind of strange.
I'm sure.
But, and then, you know, or out there, you had to work with the NRC. There were some buildings that were pre-planned, you had to put exactly back in. You know, if you changed out a faucet, you were supposed to put exactly back in what you was, which was kind of hard, because sometimes that faucet wasn't made anymore, you know. But, you know, I know how to, you know, look at things and figure out what's the best and, you know, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions?
Do you have anything else? We sure appreciate your interest
Yeah.
in serving, and it's hard to get enough people to volunteer. So
Yeah,
we
and that is a
appreciate that.
bigger board, you know.
Yeah, we appreciate that very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Bonnie.
Well, the next thing on the agenda is Empower House Ministries, Melissa Landis, biannual report. Good morning.
Good morning, how's everyone?
Hey, good, how are you today?
Running like crazy, but that would be normal in my world, right?
Okay, yeah,
All right, I brought you some reports.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, well, as most of you may recall, I am Melissa Landis, and I'm the Executive Director for Empower House. And this morning, I'm just going to give you some operational updates and just kind of share how we're doing. And then in May, ideally, I'll come back and talk about special alcohol funds and whether there's a possibility for that. When people ask what Empower House is or what we do, the best way I know how to explain it is with this. Imagine waking up one morning and your entire life is in shambles. You have addiction. You have probably no ID, little or no employment history, at least in the recent past. You've got children probably off in foster care, a sink case, off with a relative, probably got some mental health issues going on as well. And if you were to wake up in that situation, where do you start to put your life back together? And that's really what Empower House is. Our mission is, it's printed there, but essentially we are providing safe, stable housing for addicts in early recovery, teaching them life skills, walking them through a series of goals, requiring that they get the addiction treatment that they need, the mental health that they need, get employment, and all of those sorts of things. Page 3 is a ton of statistics. I find statistics and numbers fascinating, particularly for this population. Average age is 34. 72% have minor children, which means in any given year, through Empower House, we are impacting over about 175 children per year. 19% of them don't have a GED. 78% were not employed, and that number's actually changed. We're now up to 94% when they come in are not full-time employed. We've only got 6% that are full-time employed. Average income, this one, I love to talk about this one. Our women have an average income in the previous 12 months of $1,900 and change. Our men are at $3,400. So they're trying to figure out how to make it on $200 or $300 a month. 57% of them were not properly housed, which accompanies addiction. And then obviously we've got some numbers on domestic violence. I've also seen human trafficking on the next page. Unfortunately, that goes with addiction. 78% of them have at least one felony. Our females have 3 felonies per person. Our males have 4. They are mostly on corrections, 84% of them. 50% of them report to 2 or more officers. Okay? I've seen them come in with active cases in 3, 4, 5 different counties. As an example, I've got a gentleman that I'm waiting on to come. He was in Chase County Jail, has corrections in Lyon County. Now he's off in Wabunsee County. Then he has to go to Geary County to clear something up, and then to Franklin County. Okay, so that's kind of an idea of the heap of trouble that they're in. But really what it boils down to is 100% of them are in the midst of addiction. In order to come into the house, they've got to have 14 days clean and sober. They can have up to about 180. And let me tell you, some of them pushing to get that 14 days, it's all they can do to get 14 days clean and sober because right now they're probably not accessing the treatment that they need.
So how do you verify that 14 days? How does that work?
I know. When you talk to them, they're usually pretty honest with me. And all the way through, they'll say, I've got 7 days. Well, you got 7 days more, bud. And then I can do drug testing if I need to, particularly if they're close. I'll go out and do drug testing. And then I'll drug test them when they come in. Most of them, because of the relationships that I have, most of them are really pretty candid with me.
Well, apparently you're good at communicating with people that have the job you have.
Yeah, a lot of communicating. And what I'm fascinated by is I've always had this hard edge. Like, this is the rule, do it, right? No questions asked. And now I'm finding I'm really soft and very motherly, which is kind of a surprise for me. So I'm trying to get back to that hard edge, which, on a related note, I have a resource lead that her primary role is referring people to the right resources, and she is incredibly resourceful as far as getting them ID, figuring out how to work through the system to get social security numbers, birth certificates, all those sorts of things. So she runs, she was actually our second resident in, has quite a history as well. She's got about 3.5 years clean. And so she's actually our female house lead and then also a resource lead on the men. On the men's side, I do have a brand new house lead and I am super excited. He is a pretty rigid fellow that's been there and has about a 25-year history with addiction. So he's continuously telling me to toughen up. Okay, so page 5, I'm sorry, pictures of the inside of the house. As most of you know, in February of 2022, we opened our women's house. That house has a capacity for 9 young ladies. It is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. Right now, I've only got 6 women in the home. Generally on the women's side, I have 7 or 8. Just don't seem to keep it as full. On the men's side, we opened that one in 2023, November of 2023. I've got 10 men there. At this very moment, I have 9, but I'm waiting for one that comes later this week. There are times the wait list on the men's house is backed up to, most I had was 17 men on the wait list. And so at that point, I know we're not able to fully meet that need. Page 6 focuses in on the residential goals, and this has really been my hot and heavy focus for probably the last year or 2. And what it amounts to is before you can go get a job, you've got to get an ID, you've got to get a resume. So in week 1, we're working on that ID. Week 2, we're working on that resume. Weeks 3 and 4, we're working on job search. Hopefully they're landing a job in weeks 5 and 6. And now the fun part begins, and now they have an income. So I am hot and heavy in the middle of their finances. We are going back in, we are pulling a list of all of their court debt. As an example, I've got a gentleman right now that has over $10,000 in court debt dating back to 1999. So I've got motions pending on that, that go before the court. And then we pull a full credit report. So now we have a list of all of their debts. They go in, they rank them high, medium, and low. Generally, that court debt is usually high priority. And now we start to work through budgeting. So it's getting all the pieces that they need to get things in order. Page 6 is really our annual impact. Year after year, we're serving 92 addicts. That's 32 females through housing, 38 men through housing, and 22 others that are coming into our life skill clinics. So to date, I just looked at this number, we've served a total of 157 through our services. Life skill clinics on page 7, that's the other thing that we do. Obviously, we're teaching a lot of those in-house, but we also come together once a month for a life skill clinic. So January, for example, is credit, insurance, banking, and there's a 4th one that I'm not, taxes. Yeah, and that's one of the other things we do in their life skills in-house with their goals is and when they get into phase 3, we then go back and look at income taxes. I've got another gentleman in the house that hasn't filed income taxes in 20 plus years. Right, so we gotta figure out how to get that caught up. So Life Skills are open to anybody that wants to come. That's a program that's been growing. I think there's some more capacity for growth there. Right now, we're averaging 15 to, well, probably 20 is our average. Attendance on that is anywhere from 15 to 25. We're bringing in 4 speakers. Bringing in 4 speakers. We are feeding them donuts for breakfast. We're learning something along the way, highly interactive, and then we're also feeding them lunch. Got a volunteer that comes in and feeds them lunch, which helps immensely. And then I've got the schedule for the 2025. On the next page, 2026 is currently in planning. I do have a clinic planning committee that comes together to help feed some of those topics to make sure their themes are relevant for our folks. Page 9 is our board. Getting ready to, obviously we'll have might have some minor changes for 2026, but most of our board's been on the board for a couple years, so. On a personal level, this is the most challenging work I have ever done. I'm a tough cookie. You'll see more tears out of me in the last couple years than I've ever. And so it is tough, challenging work, but it is also the work where we get to see addicts come in without any hope, without any housing, without a job, without essentially family support, kids off in the system, right? Their money's a mess. Criminal cases, and we get to see them go from that hot mess to a place that they are now stable, they are now employed, they're now beginning to redevelop those family relationships, and ultimately moving past the active addiction and becoming a productive member of society.
What would you say that success rate is?
Great question. When we last looked at it, if they were only with us for 50 days or less, it was only a third. If they are with us for 50 days or more, it was closer to 2/3. Now, when they come in, by the way, they're coming in with a 90-day commitment, because that's how long it takes to walk through our goals, bare minimum. They can be there for up to 18 months. So, and I always tell them, the time for them to leave is when they can look me in the eye and say, Melissa, I got this.
So what would the average length of stay be?
Probably somewhere in the range of 4 to 5 to 6 months. And one of the reasons why that number feels really skewed is because when people come in, I've seen them come in and they make it for a day. Right? We sit down and we lay out the handbook and we lay out the rules and they go, I didn't know there was going to be this many rules. Surprise, right? So that first 30 days, we have about a 50% turnover where they don't even make it through that first 30 days. Once they've made it through that 30 days, it's probably a lot longer. At the house right now, on the men's house, I just had a couple move out. One actually moved out after about 22 months. He needed it, so he stayed longer. Had another one move out after about 5 months. Women's house, I just had a female move out over the weekend, and it was probably a 14-month stay. And they are coming in, I get lots from Lyon County, but they are coming in from any of the 6 surrounding counties. To date, we've served about 22 different counties.
I'm curious, once they're out on the road, do you give support? I mean, if they need support, is that available also?
Absolutely. Anybody that's out of Powerhouse or even coming out of jail, they all have my number. And I tell them, you can call me at 2 a.m. If it's a matter of whether you relapse or whether you make that phone call, you call me at 2 a.m. Don't text me, because my texts are turned off. But I will get those 2 a.m. phone calls of, I'm at the end of my rope and here is why. And so even after they've left us, obviously I'm still available, my resource lead's still available, they can still go to those life skill clinics. And our goal would be that we've helped them build a support network, whether that be treatment providers or sponsors or, 12-step attendees, right? All of those things. So they got a pretty good base of support. It's a lot of work.
Oh, can imagine.
I have my days.
I just always look at programs like this, and it hugely important to the people that are participating. But think about all these children that we're trying to change the course of things, and they don't get drug into the same lifestyle and habits.
Right.
You know, it's that I guess, I mean, want to help all these people like you're helping, but I feel sorrier for the kids, I guess, that their life gets turned upside down and they don't have any a secure place that they feel or people they can depend on.
And that's a hard one. You'll find me in drug court every week. You'll find me in family court sometimes. I don't know if y'all are familiar with family court. Are you familiar with drug court? Yes? Drug court is, for pretty much the most extreme cases, and by the way, about half of my people are in this category, they have to go before a judge every single week. Where are you at on treatment? I see you didn't hit your 12-step meetings, right? And there is a judge. He has the ability to... Okay, that's drug court. I am there in drug court every single week. It's my favorite place to be because that's where I get honesty. And then family treatment court is similar to drug court. It's a specialty court. It's now available in Lane County. They're kind of testing the waters with it. And that is, you have to have kids in the system. So if your dad's taking care of your kids and they're not in the system, you can't qualify. But if there's a SINC case, child in need of care case, they qualify. And that is every 2 weeks. All your treatment providers are there. Perhaps I'm there if they're part of the house. And then again, you've got that judge face-to-face to sit down. Family treatment court, he literally comes out off the bench and sits 2 feet from them and says, where are we at? How are we doing? I see you're missing treatment. What do we need to do about this? What resources do you need? Heavily focused on resources. Now, from a personal perspective, I have the soft spot for the parents because I've been there as a parent, right, to where you scratch your head and you don't know what to do. And, you know, you're on one hand, you want to scream and yell and be angry, and that won't be productive. And on the other hand, you want to be supportive, but yet you can't be enabling, and it's really challenging to find that line. But kids are being reunited, and that is pretty cool to see. And I've seen some others where kids' parental rights were terminated. And I will tell you, probably 90% of the time, I agree with the courts. Or I'm going to say at least 80% of the time I agree with the courts. 10% of the time I kind of want to scream, throw the book at them. And then 10% of the time I want to scream, soften up a little bit. I see things that maybe they don't see.
Yeah, see some more possibilities, possibly, more hope.
Yeah, so, and hope is a pretty good word to use. Because when they come in, they're pretty hopeless. And the cool part is we get to invest in people that nobody else wants to invest in. And I wish I had a nickel for every tear that I'd seen. Particularly when you just turn to somebody at the end of an interview and you go, I believe in you. And I want you in this house because I know that you can do this. And it just blows them out of the water. And I will tell you, for me personally, the tougher they are, the more attitude they have, the longer their history, those are the ones I gravitate to. Because nobody else is pouring into them. Somebody that may have had addiction, let's say, for a year, they probably haven't burned all their family bridges along the way. But somebody that's been wrestling with addiction for 20 years, they burn plenty of bridges.
They're isolated, aren't they?
Yeah.
Definitely.
What would you consider just a ballpark figure on after they've gone through the 12-step program, you relapse?
Well, I hate to answer that for, 12-step programs, if that makes sense.
I understand.
And unfortunately, I will tell you relapse is part of it. Right? We'd like to say that it doesn't ever happen, but I am prepared for it to happen. So I honestly couldn't answer that from a 12-step perspective. I'm just getting started working on the 12 steps for myself.
What if I was going to say, what if they can't follow the rules in the house? What happens to them?
They will be asked to leave.
And when they leave, they go back the court system, whatever
They go wherever it is that they go. In fact, I just had a meeting last night with both houses and said, these are the rules, reemphasize exactly what they are, these are the consequences, and today's Monday morning, I've got 2 write-ups that are coming. And we're just getting started. Because they do have sometimes an issue with rules. So we are stepping up our enforcement across the board on rules. It's challenging. And I have to navigate the soft part and the hard rule part constantly. And I will tell you, the two people that are probably the most supportive are my house lead and my resource lead. You're too soft, you gotta step it up. And on a personal note, just across the board, when I am having those horrible, rotten, bad days, these are also the people that are most supportive of me. These are the people that know me well, look me in the eye and go, you ain't right today. And that's correct, I'm not right today. And so they are incredibly supportive. Questions? Okay, well, with your blessing, I will be back in May when we start to look a little bit at budget. What I want to talk to you all about that point is the special alcohol funds, where those are derived and what those can be used for, and see if Empower House would be a possibility once again.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
Thanks so much for all your work. This is much needed.
Yeah, I know how,
Much needed.
I can tell how tough it is to, for you to,
Does it show?
Well,
It does.
We welcome you back when we do that.
Okay, I'll be back in May. Okay?
take care.
Okay.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks very much. I guess we've got 12 minutes for the hearing, so.
This is you to sign here. This has already been approved.
By the way, are you?
Been to the monkeys this morning? Been to the monkeys this morning?
Leave the capacity.
This one.
Not sure of this one. I think I got both of them. And this was, over this, all this goes into that.
You guys here for government class again? Is this the last time you gotta come?
Yeah, for this semester, I'm going back.
Is that right? This is Burlington
I will wait for this.
or Waverly?
Yeah. Then they want to take a break before that hearing starts?
Yeah.
Why don't we do that? Why don't we just go ahead and come back at about 9:59 or something?
Okay. Oh, it is.
got away from us pretty quick. I'm sorry, should've shut that door.
We got you covered.
I should have voted. Sometimes it can be interesting, but things that go on in court are probably a lot more interesting. It depends on the day.
Okay, it's 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, we have a public hearing, and it's a Jacobs Creek street closing. So I would ask for a motion to enter into a public hearing at 10 a.m. related to the Jacobs Creek street closing.
I'll move.
Second.
Been moved by Peterson and seconded by McCurry. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. So I would ask if there's anyone that, any public comments or anyone have any information concerning this case?
Go to the podium.
My first time doing this too.
You're good.
I'm Gary Scott, and we're the ones that asked for the closing of that street.
Yes, sir.
Properties, we got one on one side, another one on the third side. The entrance to it, you know, gonna stay open because Mark Harris has the property here, so we wanna make sure they have access. And we're willing to pay for what we need to pay, you know, to get it opened up, because we've been taking care of you mowing and all that, it's no big deal. And we're just trying to stop people from driving down in there, because I got some woods in there. They go down there and dump trash, go down there and do their dope, whatever.
Yeah. Be a lot easier if you had.
It's just land, it's just,
Yeah.
ain't nothing, you know. So
Be a lot easier if you had a sign there that
After that,
said,
you know,
private property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
really, you know, we want to keep it cleaned up, so that's basically all there is, you know.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other comments?
I was just gonna ask Mr. Scott a question.
He wants to ask you a question, Dave.
Sorry. So this is the map, and where you're talking about leaving it open for Mr. Harris is right here.
Right there, yes, sir, correct, that, our line, this little trailer here, comes straight across over here to our property over here, and it's,
So,
that up from the corner down there to that line there, so.
and then where it's shaded out, is where,
Right in there, that's where the proposed road would be in,
Right.
but it'll never go through, so.
okay.
And that's it.
I just wanna make sure we had the right legal description.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Gary,
That
you
is-
might mention about the surveyor that Harris has had come out that marked it into the easement.
Yeah, there's a discrepancy on some of the surveying that Mark Harris had done compared to what the county has. When Fred Walrod was alive, he showed me where the county markings were at. They surveyed that before when we was trying to get this done, but I think the guy that used to own Mark Harris's place, he thought we was trying to close off the whole road, and that's why that didn't get done. But I don't know what to do about this surveyor from Emporia. I asked them to come back out, resurvey, because they're not matching up to the county survey marker that Fred Walrod had showed me that they go off of. They're correct as far as east and west, it's north and south.
Okay.
So I don't know what we can do about that. So if the county can do anything or whatever.
Yeah.
They're showing, they're encroaching actually into Coffee County property, you know, right in here. And then when all that shifts to the north about 2 feet, it also encroaches on my property and kind of cuts my garage in half over here on that north property.
Are you talking the new survey, is that what you're talking about?
What's that?
You're talking about the new survey?
Yeah, the new survey.
Well, that Mark Harris had hired out.
Right, that's what I mean,
Okay.
that's not the county that you're talking
No, no, no,
about.
no.
Right.
And where Fred has showed me where this one marker there, and it's got a pipe over it.
Sure.
And, when I found their markings, you know, they're a little north of actually where the county surveys at, so, you know, I don't know what we can do about it, you know.
Right.
I don't know the answer. I mean, do we,
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
you think this?
Ryan,
So you're satisfied with the county survey?
yeah, I'm satisfied with the county survey, you know.
Were there pins set that the county goes from, or?
What's that?
Is there pins set,
Yeah.
property pins?
Yeah.
And that's what he showed you where the pins were.
Yeah,
is
where he
that
showed
correct?
me where this one pin is at, where this pipe is over it and everything, he said, that's what he went off of to do some of the other properties. The one property I had, where that old trailer house is at, okay, it'd been surveyed by Fred, but somehow it didn't get registered
Okay.
into the county deed or whatever it is. And, Fred's done that sometimes, he'd do some survey for people and somehow it didn't put in, you know.
Sure.
It's,
He did it for a lot of years.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I knew Fred personally, he worked with my dad out at Wolf Creek, you know, just setting all that up, you know, so he's a good guy.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's just something else we thought we'd bring up.
Yeah, I guess we're set, at least I'm satisfied with the county survey, I guess I'll put it that way.
Okay.
If
As I,
That's
yeah.
a problem for you,
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other public comments? Okay, so I guess I would make a motion to close the public hearing and resume regular session. Do I have a second?
Second.
Barker seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. So then we'll go ahead and do this resolution. I'd ask for a motion to approve resolution number 2025-966, a resolution to vacate a portion of a street located within Jacobs Creek West Incorporated Addition, located in the west half of the southwest quarter of Section 33, Township 20 South, Range 14, east of the 6 p.m., Coffee County, Kansas, an unincorporated area of Coffee County pursuant to KSA 58-2613.
So moved. Second.
Been moved by Abendroth and seconded by Peterson. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. You're welcome. Moving down the list, I don't know if that's connected with the length of the meeting at this time.
And they should be here anytime.
This is the paper.
Yeah.
Okay, that's for the motion.
Sure. Hey, we do have one question. So are you gonna resurvey that portion out there so it can be signed over to us? How does this work when we vacate a road or street?
So, this resolution, in essence, talks about that. It references the legal description that goes with that particular property. Certified copy of this will go to the Register of Deeds.
Okay.
Part of what this resolution has is basically the legal requirements. So this, as you've discovered early on in the process, a road and a street, especially a street in an unincorporated area, is handled differently. There's not really a history of that here, and there aren't very many areas in Coffee County that actually fit that criteria, because usually it would be a city that would handle their own street closure. So once this is filed, then it, in essence, has a section that states, and I'll just read it to you. The board determines vacation be made, if the vacation is of a plat, that such land shall be listed for taxation and for other purposes as though it had never been platted. So that would mean that it would then end up on the tax rolls. And I'm not sure what that process would be. It would go through the Register of Deeds, then through the appraiser's office.
Mhm.
So you'll want a copy of this once it's all signed,
Okay,
and then it ends up being effective after its passage, so. It also mentions, and you mentioned the cost, whatever the cost is, whatever it is with the register of deeds, you'll be responsible for that. This legal description was put in place several years ago, so it's not, I don't have a list of a cost for that, but all of it is outlined in KSA 58, 2613, and 2614. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
okay, great, thank you.
So am I correct, Wade? I mean, this probably was just a road easement. I mean, they've owned the property. It's just that you haven't paid taxes on it because it's on a road easement. Is that, am I speaking correctly?
That,
I mean, like, you know, that's something that's changed in the, now they're not, when a piece of real estate in the country transfers, they'll say, well, you know, 158 acres rather than 160, but yet in my mind, I still own to the middle of the road because I never deeded that property to anyone, but it has been taken off for taxation purposes, which is fair, you know, you're not able to use it, but I think you own the property would be, if that's this case, but yeah, it's just gonna be,
So they'll just add it to our tax roll,
that would be my thought.
and it'll be on our taxes next
That's the way,
year.
right, that's probably,
Yeah,
that's the
that
way.
would be
to-
my, I'm no attorney, he is, but
Yeah.
that's my
That's the way they
interpretation.
do with railroad easements.
I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so,
That's what I thought, so.
that's a fair way of saying it, but the internal mechanism of how that happens, I don't.
yeah.
Right, that's the way it's done with railroad.
And,
It goes back to that landowner.
Right.
and I can't give you advice, but I can tell you what I would do. I'd be satisfied with the county's legal description and their pins unless someone challenges that.
Right.
And that doesn't sound like that's the case, so I wouldn't spend money for another
Right.
survey if it were me, you know, because I don't think you have a conflict, so.
No, because it's ours.
That, I mean, you know, you're given the legal description
Mhm.
back over to you for the taxes, so I
Right,
think I'd call it good, but
me
I just
too,
wanna see you waste money, you know?
right.
Is the Harris all in agreement with all of this?
Well, they don't actually have any property,
But I mean, they're not
Against it.
having, where you were wanting the easement to their land where they still could get into it, they're okay with everything that you're seeking?
yeah, well, that part of the road's not being closed.
Okay.
Only
But-
thing they're disputing is, like I mentioned, the county, survey, and
Okay.
the guy they surveyed.
Okay.
They're like, what's the big deal? Well, the big deal is, you're encroaching on county property on that corner part. You're also encroaching on my property to the north of his property, you know.
How much difference between the pin of the county and what they're saying?
A little over 2.5 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a lot, but it is whenever, you know, they're saying that they own my property up to in front of my garage
Right.
because of their survey. So, and we've asked that survey company to come back out and go off the county marker, but
Yeah, well, you may have to cross that bridge when you come to it,
Yeah,
then if it becomes.
we're probably gonna
an
have to
issue.
hire our own surveyor to
Yeah.
come out and
Yeah,
verify.
that'd be my suggestion.
Yep,
Okay.
Yep.
Well, wish you good luck.
thank you,
Yeah.
we appreciate it.
Thank you for coming in.
Mhm.
After you get your survey done, you might just, talk to an attorney about it. There are some legal ramifications regarding property.
Okay.
I can't give you legal advice, I
Right.
just wanna make sure you,
Understand that we can get.
both sides need to do that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Trust Point Representative Angela Trimble, 2026 contract renewal. Good morning
Good
again.
morning. Again, yeah, you're right. Kimberly and I have done some research for you guys, so we just brought back our findings. And, I really appreciate this because I feel like it gives us the ability to give you guys what you want. and ensure how you want to insure things, so I think it's really beneficial. So we did go over the items that you tasked us with that we left, is we're going to talk about the vehicles that are 10 years and older. It's been something that's done in history of looking at the liability on that. Then we also looked at the drones. And we've got some good news for you today. So good news on a Monday, right? Okay.
Good news.
So, see? All right. If you go ahead and look on the left side is going to be the summary, and I'd like to get to that in just a little bit, but I really would like to go over the color-coded spreadsheet.
Okay.
These are your vehicles. These are not all of your vehicles. Trust me, we would have way more pages. These are your vehicles that are all 10 plus years old. Okay. In the yellow is just your liability only. And the green is 10 years and older, but they're the heavier, dutier vehicles that we've left full coverage on before in the past. And then your blue is just 10 years and older that still have full coverage. So at this time, if you want to go through, I think maybe the biggest thing that we need to address first is the green, your heavier vehicles. If you look on the second page, it will tell you how much the county is paying, comp and collision, and then what the total is. So you got your blue ones, that's just 10 years and older, and then your green ones, 10 years and older, and how much premium you're paying. So over to the right, we put the premium on there just to give you guys some information on how you may want to adjust, or if you want to keep those on.
So is this for last year, or this is for
This is for this
year?
This year. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So the very first one in the green is the 1988 Chevy. It's a 5-ton truck, heavy duty. You guys have full coverage on it, comp and collision. Your deductible is setting up $5,000 on that, and then you'll see the premium over to the right. Is that something that you would like to continue? Comp and collision. That's how much it's costing you for the year to pull over to the right side, the 605. That's how much you're paying full coverage on that one vehicle.
So do you know what kind of a value is placed on that vehicle?
So it would be replacement cost. So they're going to look at like the body, mileage, all of that. So that would be hard for me to give you an actual value on that vehicle
I mean,
without going out and looking at them.
Does it have, you know, I'm curious what it's got for a body on it or whatever, if there's any other equipment or...
Well, can I add
Yeah,
something?
absolutely.
Some of these trucks, when we went through these in years past, was we left some of these on here because they do have like sprayers on them or
Additional equipment?
yeah, some sort of tire truck, things like that it might have like a box or things that
more expensive equipment on it.
yeah, and so that's why they were left on there. But you guys can certainly do what you want, but that's the explanation for
Yeah,
this.
so like on that one, we're looking at 85 plus 103 to have comp and collision on it, looks like. And 417 for the liability.
Yeah, so your total is the 605 over to the side.
Let's see, we've got about 14 of those or something, rough count.
Very good, yeah. 14.
Okay, yeah, like 15, yeah. And all of these represent, I mean, looks like you've got, you know, F650 Fords, 350 Fords. These are all heavier
Yeah, they're your bigger.
trucks.
Mm-hmm.
I just, you know, before we had, you know, on our list last year, we had, looked like a fair amount of light duty pickups and et cetera.
Right, that would be your blue ones.
And passenger vehicles
Yep.
and stuff, and they're, you know, I think we need to, I guess my opinion, those need to be eliminated. I think probably
And just go with the,
these ones in green, the heavier ones. What's everybody else's comment here? I mean,
With that, I'm also thinking that maybe some of these trailers with a $5,000 deductible on it, unless they're hauling equipment, do we just need to have liability on those?
I mean, that,
Especially at this age.
so that, whether the trailer had full coverage wouldn't affect any cargo, would it? I mean, you'd just be dealing with the
Right,
loss
that would be
of
your
the
inland
trailer.
marine. So the yellow ones don't have full coverage on them. They're only liability only,
Okay.
which is your trailers.
Oh, okay, okay,
There's some in the blue.
There is.
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, there is one down here, that
And
dump
then
trailer, Trail King.
on the second page.
I apologize, you are correct.
Looks
On
like
a 2010 and a
Majority of those
2013. Well, 2014. I
So
think.
this whole list is 10 years and older?
This is
right?
all 10 years and older.
Okay, okay. I mean, like this low boy and some of those are probably pretty expensive trailers.
Yes, yes.
But, like these, I know for sure what the rest of these are.
The 2014 the Sharp American Hallmark.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, 'cause some of those, you get $5,000 deductible on, you're gonna knock the heck out of them if they're 10 years old.
Exactly.
You know,
The Sharp trailer is my election trailer, that could go to,
okay, 'cause I mean, you know, that's something that
That's
the
a front
county
trailer.
could stand if something happened to it.
The
Yeah, 'cause it's
2014.
probably cost that to buy one new.
Yeah, yeah, under 10 and now, you know.
That's what I was thinking, some of the littler trailers on that. There's a dump trailer on there also.
Yeah,
When it's done, it's probably had the crud beat out of it for putting dirt in it and things, so.
I mean, I guess I'd be in favor of taking those 3 2014s off unless someone knows that they're high value. I mean, I don't. I wish I knew
Looks like there's.
what the other two were.
I don't know if that Aluma is emergency management,
Oh, okay, it's up above there.
it's enclosed trailer, I think it might be.
Hallmark is typically enclosed, I believe, but I'm not positive.
Yeah.
And what, Kim?
The Hallmark trailers, I think, are
Oh, okay,
typically enclosed
okay. An
trailers,
enclosed
but I'm
trailer,
not
that-
positive on that.
That would be my thought.
Yeah.
I don't know if this Aluma, if that is suggesting that that's an aluminum enclosed trailer. It might be a little more expensive trailer, but yet it's a 13 model, so what are they gonna show the value of that at, you know? I guess I'd be in favor of taking it off and the other 3 down below there, just all those 14s. 'Cause I just can't believe that.
Leave the low boy
And
trailer
keep
on.
them
Yeah.
way down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You know? So this Trail King dump trailer, that might be it. Do they still have a side dump trailer?
The 2007
Yeah,
Trail King.
I'd say that's probably a pretty expensive trailer if it's road and bridges.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like your other trailers are running you about anywhere from $170 to $200, and this one's just a little bit more, $212, which tells me the value's probably a little higher on that 2000.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
The Doodle trailer, it's a 2006.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what,
I've heard of that make a trailer before, and I almost think that's an enclosed
It's an
trailer.
enclosed one.
is that an
Yeah,
enclosed?
I got one, same brand. They're
Okay.
enclosed trailers.
Okay.
So do you, Mike, we can take that off? You know, we're looking at $5,000 deductible and
And a 2006, I mean, and
the
I'm not gonna
odds
take
for what we do for, you know, save the county some money rather than,
Yep.
like I said, you know, we could lose 1 or 2 of these old vehicles or something and still break even, you know. So everybody everybody kinda thinking then we take off the 2006 Doolittle trailer, and then,
That was 13 aluminum.
yeah, and then those three 2014s down there in that bottom list.
Looks like there's, oh, but leave the Trail King.
Yes. And I guess if, you know, maybe we need to bump this with the department heads or something, I mean, we could add something back on if we wanted to.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so.
If you wanna bump the coverage back up, we could do that as well.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, sure.
I'd say we eliminate those, and then if, you know, if we find that there's some unforeseen bigger value there than what we're looking at.
Isn't there a department head meeting today?
There
They
is.
could go over this and get the information back or added back to it for you.
Yeah, I guess we just go with now that we're gonna eliminate them then, and if anybody has a major concern for a reason, we'll
Then
bring it back up. Okay.
On all of this, would you prefer doing that on all of this or on the trailer? You want that to go to the department heads or?
Just on those
Just on
trailers,
the
I
trailers.
think,
Okay.
those lighter vehicles, I don't think there's a question there.
Do you know what time those department head meetings are? That
2.
2:00, we could get those, Kimberly, to the department heads for the trailers, if that would help. And let,
Well, we can take them down there.
You can just
Yeah.
send
if
it
they
to
have a
me,
concern.
okay, perfect.
In what way?
just send it to me and I'll
Right.
hand it out.
Okay.
Okay, cool, great. So on the, minus the trailers, do we wanna look at the heavier vehicles? You can look at the premium and see that there's more of a cost on those heavier vehicles just based on the value of the vehicle or what there's attached to it.
Yeah. I think like those, you know, especially like these dump trucks, you're talking some pretty major replacement costs there. If some, you know, at that point, the $5,000 deductible wouldn't look very big for what you're talking about, the cost of replacing one of those. So I guess I'd like to keep it, see it stay on those items.
On the green,
Yeah.
now going over the blue line items
Okay.
are 10 years and older. And as you can see, they're, and, you know, there's some trailers on there which we will get to the department heads or give to Wade so he can take down there, but, you have some other, like, vehicles. There are some light trucks, private passenger, there is a medium truck in there,
Mhm.
several medium trucks, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, we can, kinda looks like this might be Road and Bridge's department down here, so we can check with them and see what they think on those items, if any of them should be left on.
Okay, so we're gonna wait for the department heads before we make any changes on the auto schedule, except the ones that you said to get rid of, the 2014 and the 2006 trailer. And keep all the green as full coverage. I'm just trying to repeat back what I thought you guys wanted to do, so I don't know.
Like the
So the ones,
2005 Chevy Colorado.
so you were planning on removing all the ones in blue?
Typically in the past, what has been done is 10 years and older, they put liability only unless specifically they want to, or you have chosen to keep them on due to the value of that vehicle.
Okay. Well, yeah, except for the, I mean, the Trail King, the '07 Trail King
Right.
dump trailer, I mean, unless there's some added value there. And all of those, I don't see 16 Trail King Mobile Way, we talked about that earlier on the second page here. That's an expensive trailer.
To keep that one.
Yeah, to keep full coverage on it, would be my thought. Because a lot of these things, you take $5,000 out of them, you're not gonna get
Yeah, you're not gonna get,
squat.
yeah.
Anything else.
And it's not worth putting in a claim.
Yeah, yeah, then
Claim
you file a
history.
claim, that's bad for you too.
Mhm.
So that costs you on your premium the next year.
So moving forward, how would you like me to proceed? Just wait until after the department head meeting on,
I think that'd be probably the easiest, and then
Okay.
I could get back with you
Okay.
if there's any changes.
okay, perfect.
You can copy this, right?
I'll email, I can email it to you as well, or have Kimberly email it to you.
Okay.
So we've updated the EMC update on that. Everything is pretty much the same. However, on the general liability, we did quote you at the 18,411. And after we went over the drone review, your drone liability coverage is based on weight. And after we did the audit and go over the reviews of the weight of the drone, they came back and gave you a revised premium of $16,880 after that audit. And then down at the very bottom, well, let me go over the KDOL workplace safety inspection. Wade gave that to us as we were walking out the door last Monday. And we gave that to EMC, promoted it, what you guys are being proactive in that. And they gave you a 10% discount, so $21,327 off of your work comp.
Good.
So
Thanks, Wade.
that was huge to have that. So they gave you credit for that. EMC was impressed by that. So that was a nice credit, which actually, after the premium difference of the GL and the credit that you received from KDOL, that actually your percentage of increase this year was only 9%. So that's not even taken into account what you would take off on the autos, if you take off any of the autos as well.
Sure sounds like we're gonna take
Yeah. So on your GL, it actually decreased to $1,531. So another concern that was brought up last Monday was regarding the drone liability. And so the first two lines, currently you guys have $100,000 worth of liability on the drones. And to increase that for road and bridge and economic development are the two lines right underneath the $21,000 credit. So if you wanted it for road and bridge and economic development, which each have one, they only have one drone. Right now, currently they have $100,000 worth of coverage. To give you $500,000 worth of coverage on those two drones would be an additional $194. To give you $1 million worth of coverage on those two drones would be $314. Now, right now at this time, I believe economic development is not using their drone.
I see.
Now, the two line items underneath that are for the law enforcement. LE is what we just used for law enforcement center. And right now, currently, they're at $100,000, correct, Kimberly? Moving them up to $500,000 would be a $440 increase a year total, and for $1 million of liability would be $560 a year. So if you increase both of them to $500,000, both the road and bridge, economic development, and law enforcement to $500,000, that'd be an additional $634 a year. If you move them to $1 million, it would be $874 a year premium.
trying to think of a scenario that would warrant,
I don't know.
So your liability is your property damage and bodily injury.
right,
So based off of if that drone hit power line, vehicle, home, whatever, were to cause damage.
okay,
So
okay.
when we look at a liability claim, we're looking about what caused the loss. That may be a trigger effect or a domino effect.
So they could go back on that,
Exactly.
okay.
So for example, if a car were to go through a building and it caused damage to goods or freezers or a person or whatever, it would go back to the auto policy because that's what caused the damage, even though like the wall came in on somebody or the freezer quit, whatever, it would still, the cause of a loss is going to be the vehicle. So if the drone were to cause a domino effect or just one effect, that's where that liability
That's where it
lies.
would,
Like, for instance, a fire or something
Mhm.
that caused a fire, caused property loss.
That's where the liability goes, the coverage.
and 100,000 wouldn't, in the world today,
Depends on the claim.
well, I know, but just based on the world today, 100,000.
Right.
I also think on the other hand of it, we don't use it much to have $1 million worth of liability.
No, and I'm not going that way. The 500,000, I guess, is what I'm leaning toward.
That's what I'm looking at.
I mean, laws where they really use
Yeah.
it a lot. I mean, whether it be fire or.
Right.
And you could do either or. So for the road and bridge and economic development, if you only wanted to do 500 for them, and for the law enforcement, if you wanted to raise it to the million, you could do that, or vice versa. It
I
wouldn't
would be
matter.
in favor of doing that myself. I mean, in my personal business, I'm way more worried about liability insurance than I am about my own property, you know. I sure wouldn't mind seeing us have $1 million for law enforcement.
And where they use it, I mean, they use it. say
And
often.
some of it's pretty tough situations, tough conditions,
I think
whatnot.
night too.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right,
And for $560 a total year,
yeah,
you're already
Yeah.
saving $1,531 from the liability above. So,
right.
I mean, knock on wood, for me, it's never really been money well spent, but I've spent a lot of money on liability insurance.
But if it ever happens,
Yeah, and I'm happy that it's been a waste of money.
So you guys are thinking $1 million on law enforcement, 500,000 on road and bridge, and economic development?
What do you guys think?
I can go.
Yeah,
Okay.
on law enforcement, you might call Eric Smith up and get his opinion, since he's he's the main drone operator for the county, and he can tell you from his perspective, when they go out and use them, what his opinion would be. That would be my suggestion.
So we need to get in.
I mean, those guys are trained, they go through training all the time on use and operation. Does that cure a potential liability issue? No, but for the number of times they take them up and use them, I don't know how many, just, it wouldn't hurt to have that information.
and a side note, your umbrella does not cover drone.
okay,
So your,
That's right.
so the 100,000 is the 100,000.
that's it.
You told us that last
Your
time.
umbrella does not cover the drone or the cyber. They are
What's your purpose
excluded.
for looking into it?
Yeah.
Recall, please.
Yeah, whereas your law enforcement drones may be used more, they do have more training than probably.
They
That's
do,
a point too, Mark.
they do.
I do know with some of the ones that we use for crop, with power lines and things, they shut themselves down if they get too close to it.
They do.
And they have to reset.
They do.
The law enforcement drone is pretty high tech. It has all the bells and whistles. I know Highway Patrol has a drone that's similar. If you go out to the ferry, you'll see them go up and kind of show you what they can do. But from a law enforcement perspective, if they have someone who's fleeing and they can't find them, that drone is very useful along with the canines.
Oh, it broadens their eyesight incredibly when they get up in the air.
I mean, historically, they'd call KHP and get a helicopter up, and
So situation, what if they're using a drone to track a suspect or whatever, say they shoot the drone out of the air, the drone causes damage somewhere,
You have $100,000.
that's what I
I'm called a fun sponge too, so I get it.
I mean,
God, like, and nobody loves what I do.
But that's the reality of insurance.
It is.
It's not about the positive side of everything, it's trying to make some kind of a preparation for the downside.
Yeah. You may have a lot of training and they'd be okay as long as
Yeah.
they have control over it, but if somebody shoots it out,
Yeah.
and then you have no control.
There's coverage there for a reason, obviously, and it's excluded under the umbrella for a reason.
That'd be good for the Haymarket this year.
So how would you like me to
He's coming.
proceed? Oh, Eric is? Oh, okay. So if you want, we can move on down to the last topic
Sure.
that I have here.
Sure.
While we wait for Eric. Remember, there were several locations that the deductible is a wind hail deductible in the event of a wind hail, which is pretty pricey when you look at a 1% wind hail. That means 1% of the property value. Some of those are really high. If you look underneath, it includes the courthouse, the law enforcement, road and bridge, office and storage, and dwelling. Currently, right now, those are at a 1% wind and hail deductible. So it would move it to a $50,000 deductible per occurrence. So if you had wind and hail that hits this building and law enforcement, so it's per one occurrence, that would be a $50,000 deductible. But that premium to get that, so basically this is a buy down from deductible. So it's premium for deductible.
So the $50,000 would be for all of our buildings?
It would be for the ones that are included down below. Those are the buildings that are a 1% deductible.
Okay.
Only wind and hail. So for example, if you went to building 1, which is the building that we're in right now, we have the building at over 11,953,000. So with that, and this location, Kimberly, we're looking at the ones that were 1%, it would be $142,965 deductible.
And so this would be an addition to get that 142 down to 50.
Right.
And that would cost $35,000.
We've done this before in the past. We've given you guys just so that it's an option that you can have. It's the wind hail deductible. Obviously, we live in Kansas, and it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Before in the past, the commission has chosen not to take the deductible, but it always is just an option that we want to give you guys that you can look at.
Yeah, because we're looking at another 90 or something difference in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on the law enforcement center alone, I don't have it open, but you're looking at like, what is that, 22 million? Oh,
26,741.
So you're looking at $260,000 deductible, just on that building alone,
For this building, yeah,
per building.
Okay.
10%.
And 142 on this one, or 96.
119.
Yeah, that's not all of them, that's this building.
Right,
Okay.
right. And
But
so,
that's our two major.
so you say the law enforcement would be off 260, I mean,
Right,
at the 1%.
at the 1%.
Yeah, because currently it's at a 1% per building
Right.
for those locations.
And it also does include the dwelling that is north of Perryville,
Okay.
because that's at a 1% deductible as well on those roads.
I think it's a lot of money to buy down, but if we have one occurrence, it's going to be a push to go to the 50,000. It pays for itself there.
Yeah,
Yeah. But like just trying to think like the law enforcement center. I would think anyhow, we'd be looking at glass replacement.
Sure.
In that building. I mean, that building's, I would think, durable otherwise to wind and hail, as is this building pretty much, I would think. So I don't know what the potential for a huge loss is to those two buildings. I mean, like metal buildings and stuff like the shop, Road and Bridge and the annex and those kind of things. I mean, they would be more susceptible to, you would think, to tornadic activity or terrible hailstorm or something. I mean, a lot of glass could cost a lot of money. I don't mean that, but I don't know.
I know that, so that, it seems like a lot of money to buy it down, but just one occurrence, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. It's
Kind of hedging against that.
Right. I'll roll that around for a minute and talk to Eric for a second about the drone.
Rick? So
Good
for
morning.
the drone coverage, currently right now on the drone, $100,000 worth of liability. So there's no extra umbrella additional coverage. So property damage and bodily injury, $100,000. These are just for the law enforcement. To bump it to the $500,000, that's a year cost, and for $1 million, that's a year cost liability. So anything that, say, a situation would happen, it goes back to the cause of loss. So did the drone start the domino effect or just the one effect? So currently, right now, you have $100,000 worth of liability limit total. That's all that we pay.
All right.
And we need your expertise.
Okay. Well, or just your thoughts, yeah.
Or your
I
thoughts.
appreciate that, yeah. Yeah, both, I guess that's the same thing, yeah.
We know that you guys use them in several different instances, night, day, whatever.
Yes.
And so I think it's the comfort level to ask you, do you feel like 100,000 would be adequate coverage, or would you look at either additional coverage limits?
So, the scenarios that we play out, especially at night, the things that can happen with a drone when it comes to high wire lines, being around substations, things like that, you have to be aware and cognizant of what your dangers are there. The idea that something would happen to a transformer or something that would cause a large explosion, $100,000 seems like not enough. I mean, you're talking about if it's a residence, it's not enough. If it's a company, it's definitely not enough, right? So if the question is it a viable proposal to move it up, I think probably so, if that's the question.
Isn't paying too much, or 500,000 not enough?
Talking about probability or possibility?
Roll the dice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's where it takes all your brains together to figure that out. But I think that, with Wolf Creek, we have certain restrictions that we put on ourselves, right? And weather would be one of them. I had a discussion with the supervisor once upon a time about whose call it was. It's always the pilot's call. And the reason being is because if it's a 50-mile-an-hour wind and I blow into something, what does that catastrophic damage look like? So those are the kind of things that are always going to be, hopefully we're making the right decisions. But that doesn't mean it isn't possible.
Well, things change, the wind changes.
Yeah, weather changes. That drone could decide to have, a catastrophic failure itself, and then you're in trouble, so.
So you're looking at a $120 difference from 500,000 to $1 million.
I'd rather have the million.
I'd rather have a million, just with the climate, just if anything happens.
So is that above and beyond our 100, or would our coverage be 100?
Total would be
The
$1
total
million.
would be $1 million, okay.
And that's a big number, and I get the question, but I don't know that you can't, I think you're right to do that, myself, so.
Okay.
And I hope I never make you pay it.
Oh, that's what we were looking for, Eric. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Eric.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. our mind about wind and hail on a whole lot of dollars worth of buildings, won't we?
Will that change if a certain building down the street is taken off the county?
That one is not on here.
This worth a shot.
Yeah. There's gonna be some premium taken off when that is no longer on the
That
policy.
will be good. I'm flexible either way.
I am too. Part of me thinks that we'll get where we are and not add the 35,000, of course. Then the other part of it is,
And we haven't had one for a while.
We haven't had
I
it.
don't know that that means we're any more apt to have one next year than before.
Well, we just went through the vehicles and tried to cut funds and save some tax money on it.
I think our two most expensive structures, like I say, I could run into quite a few dollars on glass, but
It's pretty resilient the way they're structured.
yeah.
Doing your due diligence on the safety inspection and getting a $21,000 credit is pretty
That's
substantial.
great, yeah. And thanks to all those involved in that happening. Feel like we're kind of beating you up this time.
That's all right,
Meaning to
that's
rake
all right.
you over the coals.
Like I said,
I
I'm
guess
used
bottom
to it.
line, I'd be good with just keeping as is with the 50,000. But I'm not set in stone either, so it's whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess that's just
Mark
the
and
way
Tom,
I'm.
you kind of feel on the other way, are you? Or-
I can go either way, just insurance scares the heck out of me.
Oh, I
Yeah, I know.
You got too much or not enough.
Right.
Yeah,
You don't want to be overinsured, but you want to be adequately insured.
right.
So we have 2 drones, one at Road and Bridge and one at Economic Development. Currently we have 100,000. So would you want to leave it there or do 500,000 or $1 million in liability?
Who takes care of the one in,
Road and Bridge?
yeah, Road and Bridge?
I'm not for sure. Do you know, Kimberly, who handles the drone at Road and Bridge?
I'm not sure who operates
Is
it.
it
Kenny Ronan.
Oh, okay,
Kim Ryan? Okay.
okay.
And I assume that's during the day,
I
right?
would say leave the $100,000 policy on that one and let the sheriff's office spend money.
Yeah, it's,
On the audit, they did come back and say that they use it during the day and they use it for, project inspection. You know, when they're, when they're looking at possible projects and looking at those aerial views to use for their planning.
Yeah, I'd go with that.
I'd be good with that.
Leaving it where it's at, but I sure think the law
On the law enforcement.
is worth our money, you know.
And on the law enforcement, do you want to increase to 500,000 or to $1 million?
I think he said $1 million.
I think
those, I mean, for what was $160.
Yeah, then we're talking peanuts to be a little more prepared.
Wind hail deductible buy down. Do we want to discuss it, table it? It does have to be bought at the time of the policy, which your renewal is 1/1.
When you talk the 1%, that's on the total value of the buildings. So that's, so on the courthouse, it's $142,965. And then on the law enforcement, it'd be $260, and that'd be for a complete loss. I mean, that would be
Wind hail.
Up to that, yeah,
up to that.
that damage.
For wind hail
Right.
cost
For wind
loss.
hail up to that amount.
Up to
And
that
that,
amount.
and that's still
Mhm.
gonna be $5,000 deductible.
I'm sorry.
No, on the property,
Is that 5,000 deductible?
5,000, yeah, except wind and hail. And then for flood and earthquake, it's at 2,000.
Right.
So what's the deductible, the way we're set up?
Right now, it's a 1% if it's wind and hail. So say it was fire.
Okay, I got, okay,
Right.
Yeah. So it's based off the cause of loss, what your deductible would be. So this buy down is only for wind and hail.
Yeah.
And if anybody had a black ball that could tell me what the weather was gonna be for next year, I would appreciate it, I'd buy you coffee. Because it's my line of work, I would love to know. You just never know.
That's right. A lot of people get to thinking our weather is more volatile and unpredictable, but in my mind, I just kind of think it's Kansas.
Yeah.
We have a few smooth years of running, and then an uneven weather cycle comes along. Everybody can't remember that that's happened
Yeah.
dozens and dozens of times before, you know? Almost 36,000 is a sizable amount of money.
Yeah, I'm okay with leaving it the way it is without it.
I am too. And again, that's my feeling, is just to keep it like it is, but that's,
I mean, we tried to save money, save tax money with the vehicles and.
Yeah, I guess I feel the same way. I mean, this isn't like getting sued for $1 million or something.
Right.
You know, this
Yeah, it's
is-
not liability,
Yeah,
it's property coverage. Correct.
but like I said, that's always been my personal method of operation. I'm not saying it's right, it's just worked for me.
And again, it's just us bringing an option to you.
sure.
Yeah,
It's good to have options.
So.
I think the consensus is then to not take the, buy down.
yeah.
Not take it or take it?
To not take
Okay.
that, yes.
Okay.
And then we'll have the discussion with,
Vehicles.
vehicles this afternoon.
Okay, great. And we'll get that emailed over to you, Wade. And if you want us to come to it, we can come to the meeting as well, either way.
Angela, is there any discount we could take if we did like a quarterly safety seminar for our employers with the comp, for keeping workman's comp and workplace safety high on safety and workman's comp down? Would there be any discounts available for that if we were to document those safety meetings that we'd have?
So, and I apologize for not telling you this earlier. So with EMC, they offer tons of safety that goes out to all the department heads have access to it for their area, so that they can have safety videos on there, they can track their employees on there, they can get safety posters, so on and so forth. So they already are kind of giving that ability for you to have that. The KDOL inspection, that was huge for them. We took that one up to the top and said, you know, hands down, look what they're doing. So I think that was their way of saying, okay, we're going to credit you for what you've done.
Okay. Are they using the safety materials that EMC can provide or not?
I wouldn't know that.
there any way to
We'd
find
have
that out?
to,
Would be a good question.
we could go to the department.
Yeah. Because if there's anything on that, I think it'd be valuable.
Because
Yeah,
most of the time-
periodical. I mean, they don't have to be overkill with them.
Right.
With an inserts, I do know people get bored with them, but I think periodically, quarterly or something would not be a bad situation.
I wrote that on here to address this
Yeah,
afternoon.
and I'm guessing they already do that, but that's just, I don't know that for a fact, that they would do specific training meetings on specific items and then have the employees there sign off on it, but,
Right.
Try to keep
Safety
people off.
meeting or something every.
and I'm just guessing that that's the way it's already being implemented, but it may not be, but it'd be a good question to ask. I mean, just to
Yeah.
make sure that that's being implemented
We've
that
got
way.
quite a few dangerous situations and just
Right.
you remind people things and, oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's,
Exactly.
I think Road and Bridge does utilize some of those trainings,
And I believe the law enforcement center does as well.
and I was gonna say law enforcement as well. Okay.
So we can follow up on that as well.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Anything
we
else?
got some of your questions answered.
I know. Right. Well, truly, I would rather do this so that it comes back, that we can have a discussion. I think that's more important than just like, here's premium, you know. So this way you can insure how you want to insure, and you have some decisions and options. So, all right, so we will wait till after. Do you want me to come back next Monday, or just have Wade tell me, or how would you like?
I think we could just relay what,
Okay.
what's decided, don't you?
Or there might be value in being here because you can answer the questions.
Okay.
To get the final,
Yeah.
the final say if something comes up and there's a question.
And that's a 2.
2 today, okay. And then, do you want me to come back next Monday? Does there need to be a vote? Do you need me to be there for the vote for the premium on this, or does that matter? If I need to be here or not? Either way I can, it's not a big deal, but.
But that's what I meant for next week is whatever happens, whatever the department heads recommend, if they recommend
Oh,
anything,
and
then
then
to come
just
back and pass it. So
Yeah.
You come back next Monday and
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, let's do
Yeah.
it.
The discussion about this needs to happen here, not
Yeah.
somewhere else.
So do you want me at 2 or no? Okay.
Nope.
And then just come back next week? Okay. I'll see you guys in a week.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks a
so
lot.
much.
Thanks a lot
Thank
for
you.
your work.
I know. That helps your sweat.
How much longer was your swing?
I'm on week.
So next week you'll be
Yeah.
throw stuff at us.
I know, exactly. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Guess we just will move on to phase 2 AIA document A133 review. Someone knows more than I do.
So I handed those documents out last week. You wanted to take some time to look at the amendment document compared to the original phase 1 document, which I have right here. The phase 1, just to maybe recap, was the kickoff for the jail project, had all the terms and conditions. The only thing that would be added is you made a motion recently to amend the GMP to add phase 2 at the top of that AIA document entitled Document A133-2019 Exhibit A immediately below Guaranteed Maximum Price Amendment. You would approve the $1,974,552 that was presented by River City and is included in the additional documents that are also referenced in that document. If you look at page 3, referencing exhibit,
You're in the Exhibit A paper, or?
Exhibit A paper. So I get started on page 2, in section A112. It references Exhibit 1, Coffee County Phase 2 renovation, and that's a document that you've already been provided. Sitting here in front of me, it's in a packet. If you remember, there's the design plans. You went through that. That has all the architectural renderings and designs, and it's the long. It's, I guess, bigger than legal. There was also the document that would have been attached with what you were provided last week, which gives you the sort of the River City document is what I'll call it, and it has the scope. So you have included with this GMP price amendment, you have Exhibit 1 that's referenced on page 2, and then on page 3, Exhibit 3, Exhibit 2, and Exhibit 3. Exhibit 1, Coffee County Phase 2 renovation. Exhibit 2, Coffee County Phase 2 specifications dated September 26, 25 by Goldberg Group Architects. That's the long document with all the design plans. Actually, take that back. That's not that document. That's Exhibit 3. And then Exhibit 3 is the Coffee County Phase 2 drawings dated September 26, 25. So all of those things are, for lack of better wording, incorporated by reference into this GMP amendment. You also have listed on page 2, which was discussed when River City, Joe Seymour was here, the alternates that are also included in the drawings A1 and A2, which are the revised floor plans, which increase the GMP above what the number is that I mentioned earlier, and you decided or elected not to pursue those alternates, but they were discussed and mentioned, and actually you get a bigger footprint for the small courtroom by going with the base bid instead of the revised, either one of the alternates, which seemed backwards to me, but it's the benefit. So you also have at the top of page 3 what they reference as substantial completion date for phase 2, which would be June 3rd, 2026. And then at the very back, it just shows from additions or deletions report, anytime they make any changes or modifications to the original document, it shows what they've added or what they've changed. You'll see the same thing in the original AIA document for phase 1. So, in essence, the same general plan that occurred in phase 1 would occur in phase 2. So, anytime there's a submission for a payout, for example, you had made a decision previously that that'll run through initially. The sheriff and I will review it, go over it with River City, ask questions, and then it will be presented to you again in the same format that has previously occurred. Put it up on the big screen if there's questions. Same thing with any change orders. The document, I think I gave my copy of that document out. I don't have it with me, but the River City, I do have it. This is Exhibit 1. Coffee County Phase 2 renovation. Included in that document shows the scope of work, as well as at the very end, the table, I guess it is. You have to zoom in, but it includes the allowances. So the allowances, for example, for demolition, there's a $5,000 allowance. Roof patching, a $10,000 allowance. Interior wall patching, paying a $5,000 allowance. General clean, a $10,000 allowance. And those are costs and fees that potentially may or may not get used. We had several line items like these in phase 1 that some of them were fully utilized, others were not, and then they transferred over to phase 2. There's a contingency of $50,000, which is going to be used and utilized similar to what the construction contingency was for phase 1. So all of that is contemplated and included. And then if you look at within the costs and fees that are part of the ultimate amount, the 1.974. example, within that, the left-hand side, HVAC, 475, 969, electrical, 240, 340. All the costs are included in this particular part of the project. So, ultimately, the GMP price amendment document, it says November 25th, 2025. That will need to be crossed out if you decide to approve it. There need to be a motion or to authorize the chairman to sign the AIA document A133 2019 Exhibit A, guaranteed maximum price amendment.
So wait on the contingency, there's 50,000, and then what about the carryover from phase one?
It's contemplated and included in these amounts.
Okay, okay, thanks.
You don't have any legal concerns about any of this?
No, it mirrors what happened in phase one. And between the contingency and allowances, it's right at $80,000. And it should be really nice once it's all said and done.
Well, I'm glad that it sounds like it worked around, that we didn't have to sacrifice functionality to, in this phase two, that, you know, I hate to see us do something that everybody would suffer for from now on, you know, that didn't live up to the expectations of building something new, you know, remodeling something, I guess I should say. That's good.
And the main goal was that secure corridor going into the courtroom, and everything else would be a bonus, but while you're doing the secure corridor, it makes sense to address some of the other issues. I mean, if you've been in that small courtroom, it's not much bigger than this room here, and if you're holding a full docket, it doesn't make sense. Very small, where you're running two courtrooms at the same time. It'll carry the justice side of things into the next several decades.
It could be used for a lot more larger cases and stuff then.
Well, in the renovations of the small courtroom, if you had to, you could hold simultaneously a misdemeanor jury trial, which is a 6-person jury if you needed to.
Right.
Right now, there's times when, you know, we have to have very light dockets, if not a minimal docket, because there's a jury trial going on in the big courtroom, and it's a civil trial, so we can't really hold court, and then our dockets get backed off and backlogged. This will help to deal with that and address it. I mean, my opinion is, having been in multiple courtrooms in multiple places, this was something that if you didn't do it now, it was going to be a need that you were going to have to address at some point in the future. The other side was that the secure corridor. Presently, you have to go down the hallway that connects multiple other offices to go to the small courtroom, and that's not an ideal situation. You walk right by the clerk's office, judge's chambers, all kinds of different things. It needs to be secure. And some may say, well, that's overreacting, you don't need that in Coffee County, Kansas. Well, I can tell you, in Allen County, Kansas, a murder case several years ago where right after the individual was convicted and he had what they called a device on his leg that the jailers had a button they could press, and the intent was it would incapacitate them if they decided to take off, run, do anything like that. Well, the judge rendered the verdict. It was a hard 50 plus, and that individual ducked under the table, ran, and went straight back towards chambers, ended up in the judge's chambers because it wasn't secure the way it needed to be, and that bandage or that device didn't work as intended, and you need to have the ability to make sure that people who need to be under control of law enforcement and the staff, and people who are associated with that part of the system are safe. This is a way you can't always ensure every scenario, but you can take proactive measures to do so, and that secure hallway is a way to do that.
That sound like very much needed.
And there are, if you haven't had it, a lot of compliments from a number of different parties regarding the security, especially not only for the entire courthouse, but especially on the court side for the members of law enforcement that are here and who kind of oversee and make sure things don't go sideways in the courtroom. I mean, you only have to have that happen once for it to be an issue or a concern, and here these men and women who are a part of that with the experience they have, the background, that they know what they're doing, and they run a very good operation down there.
So you have I think we're ready for a motion to.
If you're ready, it'd be a motion to approve and authorize the chairman to sign the AIA document A133 2019 Exhibit A, guaranteed maximum price amendment.
Oh, yes, you've got it there, I'm sorry.
Yeah, my computer, I had to reboot it here. Give me 1 second, I'll
Okay.
look that up.
Once this is done, when can we get started? When will we start?
I think they want to start
Right now?
Last week.
July.
Yeah, no, I know. Which year? I know. Well, that's what you said.
And it probably should have a reference to the original document.
And if you guys wanna see the blind people version of that.
I can see the other one, I have a little trouble reading it, but I can see the document. It's not my area of expertise, I'm sorry.
You can still look at it.
It's out there now.
And see it, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's wait and have a look at it. It mentioned something about referencing the original one or something. It's okay.
So right now, that's what I see.
There you go.
There it is.
I think it's document A133.
Yeah, instead of 8, it's A.
Oops, I missed it.
You see that, Angie?
Yeah, I fixed it.
Oh, okay, it just now clicked okay on ours, and it just now changed.
You might reference, after the word amendment, in reference to phase 2. What do I call that?
Coffee County Phase 2 renovation.
Yeah.
Coffee County Jail, what did you say, Mark?
Coffee County Phase 2 renovation. How's that look, everybody? Are you putting the dollar amount in there?
I think the dollar amount and then a substantial completion date should be sufficient, so.
Dollar amount's $1,974,552.
And it's at the very top of page 2. And then the substantial completion is the top of page 3.
June 3rd, June 3rd, 2026.
What's everybody think? That looks okay? That sound okay, Wade? Yep. Okay, I'd ask for a motion to authorize and direct the chairman to sign the AIA document A133, 2019, Exhibit A, Guaranteed Maximum Price Amendment in reference to the Coffee County Phase 2 renovation in the amount of $1,974,552 with a substantial completion date of June 3rd, 2026.
So moved.
Been moved by Barker and seconded by Amadroth. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Let the demolition begin.
Get out of the room. This is more organized than my file. You want to come up and work on my back?
Well, you haven't seen the bottom of the drawers on my desk drawer either, so. It's pretty scary.
So if you want to take this one and sign it, it's at the very top. It's going to be right. It has November 25th.
Don't you guys in back taps through all that stuff?
Write my title in Good time for my pen to quit.
Here you go.
I'm good. I warmed up again. Should I write like this, Sherman.
Sure. Yeah, you can or I can for you, whichever.
Either way, if you wanna write it where it's a little more legible, that'd be great. Oh, here's the sheet.
Oh.
I'm sorry, that was on the bottom of
That's
that.
right.
I thought I picked it all up, and I did not.
Do I need to send this back to Cole Wade, or are you doing that, or?
If you wanna send it, that way there's a,
Okay, keep it out there.
it probably, I'd include Cole, but the main one who probably needs it is Joe Seymour,
Okay.
because they're gonna have to get it to their corporate office so they can sign the other page. And then get it back to us.
Well, I guess that's everything on the agenda, passing the last thing around there to sign. Do we wanna start some roundtable? Guess we're not forgetting anything else unfinished, is there?
We want to take care of the hospital board. And just, I've got a motion here I throw out there. You guys are wanting to hear it. I move that we reappoint or appoint Galen Lingham, Perry Chapman, and Marlena Cook to the hospital board for the terms that are open.
Say that again, Todd.
Galena Leadham, Perry Chapman, and Marlena Cook.
I agree with the first two. I guess my choice would be to retain Jody,
Thomas?
Jody Thomas.
I guess that was my thought.
I'd like you to redo that, or what are you guys' thoughts?
I'm,
Or do you just want to do 10 and then we can do a third?
I would prefer to do it that way.
Okay.
I mean, and again, that's just,
I'll rescind my motion and make another motion to appoint Galen Leadham and Perry Thompson to the board.
Perry
Or
Chapman.
Chapman, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I would second that.
Okay, who did you say?
Galen
Galen.
and Perry Chapman. I'm sorry.
Okay, can we just do them separately so that we have them, because Perry's
Yeah.
gonna be reappointed.
He's gonna be,
Yeah, that's fine.
If you don't mind.
Thank you. Rescind that motion, Bob.
Yeah, rescind that one.
Okay.
There's only one. Galen Leadham. I move to appoint her to the board.
Okay, move to appoint Galen.
Galen, yeah. And I'd second that.
Make sure I spell her name right.
Gailyn.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
Gailyn.
Gailyn.
meetings.
Okay.
Another division, right?
Yeah. Okay. So Barker has moved to, we need to put a point in there or something.
Oh, yeah, to appoint. I left off the word. To, wait, I need to put, oh, got it wrong place.
After the word.
There we go.
Okay, Barker's moved to appoint Galen Leadham to a 3-year term on the hospital board.
Okay, there you go. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I thought it was gone.
It was disappeared.
Okay, we'll do this here in a minute. Barker's moved to appoint, you need to add a point to that again, because it went away when it went
Oh my
away.
gosh. Okay,
Galen Leadham to a 3-year term on the hospital board beginning January 1st, 2026 and ending December 31st, 2028. And Thompson has seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Appears that motion carried 5-0, correct? Okay.
now we're gonna do Perry.
Yeah.
Reappointing him.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'd ask for a motion to reappoint Perry Chapman to a 3-year term on the hospital board beginning January 1st, 2026 and ending December 31st, 2028.
So moved. I'll second.
Been moved by Avendroth and seconded by McCurry. Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, I believe 5-0. Okay. Somebody else want to make another motion?
I would make a motion, to reappoint Jody Thomas, back to the board. For, what, a 3-year term?
Curry's moved to reappoint Jody Thomas to a 3-year term on the hospital board beginning January 1st, 2026 and ending December 31st, 2028. Have a second. I guess I'll second that. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, so motion fails. Okay. So I guess we need another motion if we're gonna get this finished up today.
Yeah, we need to finish it today.
Yeah.
So, what's that leave us, 2 options?
What do you mean?
We have 3.
3, what do we got?
We have
2.
Brenda Hicks and Maureen Cook. I mean, is that
Steve Hopkins.
Steve
Oh,
Hopkins.
Steve Hopkins?
So I guess I'd make a motion to nominate Marlene Cook for a 2-year term. Barker seconded it. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, opposed? Okay, 4-1.
Did I do it?
I think that makes us full now, at the present time, so. Thanks to everyone who showed interest in
Yes.
filling these positions, and we very much appreciate it. And it's hard to get people to fill these positions.
It is.
And have people volunteer, and we definitely appreciate it and encourage people to apply again if they weren't successful.
Right, but do we need to address that.
It's my understanding the housing board only has 2 active members on their board.
I guess that was my question, is what do we do with the housing board? Or
Do
do
we
we
want to
just-
put the existing member that's been on there before back on? What's it?
I would make a motion to go ahead and reappoint Bill Parker.
Bill Parker?
To that expired term.
I'll second. Okay.
I guess we ought to have the dates on there, huh?
Yeah.
That way that'll give them
A quorum.
a quorum back on that.
Correct. And
Well, yeah.
yeah, that'll give them a quorum so they can have their meetings.
So is that effective today then?
Yep.
That would be
Oh,
us.
yes.
It's a 4-year term?
Yes.
Oh, yes, yes it is.
So it would expire
10,
20,
29,
Uh,
or,
for, no, 21.
all these others expire on October 26th.
right, starting, oh, maybe it's 10/28.
This will be 2029, I believe.
Do we want to make it the October date then when the others are then? or-
It needs to be,
Whatever those established terms are.
yeah, wouldn't that be right?
Yeah.
Do you think it's 10/29, Mark?
It'd be
I believe so, if it's 4 years.
27,
It's 4 years.
29, yeah, 29.
Should be staggered.
In October 26,
Six.
2029.
They are.
I think that's it, correct? Okay, we had a second, didn't you second it? Mark Peterson seconded it. Okay, I guess I'll read it. Abendroth moved to reappoint Bill Parker to a 4-year term to the Housing Authority Board beginning December 15th, 2025 and ending October 26, 2029. Peterson seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I'll get them back to an operational board.
Right, that gives them back a
Well, we got those out of the way for now, anyhow. That's good. Job done.
Yeah. We're back to round table.
I don't have stacks for you this time.
You will have stacks?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
He saved the
Damn.
tree, he saved the,
Disappointing.
he saved the trees this week.
Okay.
Thanks, Wade.
Lot of different things going on that require paperwork.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
At some point, I don't know if you're wanting to be holding off on this lobbying services agreement until a later time. I just have it sitting in front of me, so I don't know if it's on your,
For 10.
for Tim Johnson.
Did you guys already pass that last week?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
passed
It passed?
Yeah.
Alright.
And that, did we, I guess it's the same agreement as before. Did we need you to look at it before we signed it or something?
I thought there was something that I needed to look at it.
I think it was the same
Just change the dates on it.
I think it was just a date
Yep.
change.
Okay.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, we passed it last week.
Yep.
Or whenever it was, I think.
Yeah, it was last week, yeah.
In your roundtable discussion on your device, there's the request for a road closing. Just so you know, the information regarding that road closing has been sent to Road and Bridge because they're gonna have to get the legal. Once they get the legal, then we'll be ready to move forward with the notification. That will require some fence viewers and that type of thing. Or not fence viewers, road viewers.
On this request here, and I'm gonna go try to look at this location this week if I can, but I don't know that they have their information. It says 820 Oxen Lane, and I am the property owner on the north-south. I think that line is intended to be, so that's a north-south road. I think he'd have property on the east or the west side, but maybe I'm wrong. I mean,
Maybe north of Ninth Road, would that have been what he was speaking of?
I'm not sure. It's between 9th and 8th, and the address, he says 820 Oxen Lane. And I am the property owner on the north-south directions of the road. I would think it would be east and west, but I'm not certain. I'm sure that's his intention if that's the case, but I'm not. So this is east of 75 Highway. How is it still Oxen Lane when it's east of 75 Highway?
It is, Oxen is east of
The auction is east, because you've got auction.
Oh, I keep thinking Links. I'm sorry. I know where we're at now. This wasn't making any sense. I kept thinking of Links, and I thought Links is.
And
I'm
It'd
sorry.
be a mile,
Oxen Lane, it's north-south,
Right.
and the requested closures between 8th and 9th roads, right?
and
Yeah.
it'd be a mile west of.
So it's it's up there north of my shop up there. I'm sorry. I was just
On the other side of the river.
locked on that. I'm like, wow.
I was coming to there.
Yeah, okay, makes sense now. Yeah, 'cause that'd be, my shop's on Oxen Road, so this is a half a mile
Half.
east of there yet, so
Right.
it's actually on the other side of,
The
the
river.
creek there, yeah.
Maybe we could have mapping bring us down a copy of the landowners so we know.
That might be beneficial, yeah.
Well, they're gonna have to get notice anyway, so.
Yeah, so
Oh, okay.
we'll have documentation for that.
I just wanted you to be aware that it's being worked on behind the scenes before we can do anything. We need to have the legal description.
I don't know why, I apologize, I was just thinking of Links, and I thought, that's not right.
And that covers that.
And that road just goes down to the river, correct? That they wanted to close? I mean, that's,
It kind of goes through the woods down there on
Yeah.
both sides of the river.
right, okay.
And there's erosion there on the bank.
Right.
When I talked to Ryan, he's aware of that particular road, that area, so.
Yeah,
Well, we talked about it a little bit last week.
We did.
that's right.
We did.
Yeah.
Next week is the second public hearing for the building down.
405.
405, 407.
One of those.
I don't know if there were any objections. I'm gonna find out today regarding this document I handed out last week. That's to correct the deed and the legal description. I don't anticipate there's anything, but.
That one. It's amazing, I found it in that mess.
It'd be a good way to cap off the year.
That'd be good.
Oh, that would be great.
I need to request maybe a 10-minute executive session, myself and the board. This is gonna also include Mike Tweed as the head of security for the building. And it's gonna be to discuss matters regarding the building that would jeopardize the security, potential security features of the building, and they were discussed in an open session. And And we've talked about it before, the same thing before with, Deputy Tweed. Let me double check, he's still down there.
Once I commit me.
I'm gonna go back and pull that other one.
There was that resolution for that street closing, did you get for you guys?
Well, I'll put it in my file.
And then recycling, or you signed it, send it around?
Yeah, we did.
He's ready.
Okay. I'd ask for a motion to enter into executive session for 10 minutes to include each of the commissioners, Security Officer Mike Tweet, and County Councilor Wade Bowie II, to discuss matters related to security measures under the Kansas Open Meetings Act, KSA 75-4319B12C. Also move.
Second.
Moved by Thompson, seconded by Peterson. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I guess we'll go in at 11:49. Yeah. Very true. Okay. No action taken because of the previous executive session. Would that be correct?
That would be correct.
Okay. You had anything else, sir?
I need I was gonna say 5 minutes, but probably 10-minute executive session. This is under attorney-client, myself and the board, for you to provide legal advice regarding potential legal issues surrounding a subordinate board.
Regarding advice.
Everybody's okay. I'll stick maybe 3 minutes extra on there so we can maybe take a brief break. Sure. Maybe make it 5 or something before we start.
And outside of that, that's all I'll have for today.
Okay. I'd ask for a motion to enter into executive session for 10 minutes to include each of the commissioners and County Councilor Wade Bowie II to discuss matters deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship regarding legal advice regarding a subordinate board under the Kansas Open Meetings Act, KSA 75-4319B1.
Is that B1, Wade?
Hold
Hold on, I can,
I believe it's B2, B1 would be,
personnel matters?
go.
Okay, I revised that to say
Yeah, it's B2.
KSA 75-4319B2.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make that motion.
Moved by McCurry and seconded by Arthur. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Will go in at 12:07.
Shined it in your eyes and blinded you.
Okay, no action taken because of the previous executive session. And you said that's all you had, sir?
Unless you have anything you have for me?
I think so. Tom?
Reading the paper this weekend, the hospital talks about going into a joint merger with Newman Hospital about sharing surgeons and specialties. I'd kind of like that explained to us.
Uh-huh.
And I kind of kind of had a heads up about that, you know, for what's going on there. We're the funding agency of that for the most part. And then, you know, just to being updated on that instead of all of a sudden have to read something about that in the newspaper is kind of concerning, kind of like we've had other things that we were surprised by. I mean, they have their own boards and stuff, and yeah, that's good, but I just like to be part of the loop on things. And I have concerns there, but also with the Newmans, our insurance doesn't work there. For some reason, somebody couldn't meet something here, and this all could be explained to us, why the person couldn't, if we're sharing staff, they could go to Newmans. Maybe that's not something we should look in, but I would just like to have a little update on that.
And Todd, I took it as it was just under discussion, but by the same token, it wouldn't hurt, I mean, if there's
Yeah.
something going on, it wouldn't hurt for
Yeah.
Stacy and
So in a case like that, if, let's just say Stacy came up and met with us, could we go into executive session and talk about something that's proposed, or it's, you know,
Talk about,
a business deal that's ongoing?
I think internally they can talk about it, potentially behind closed doors, but if you do it here, you're talking about the expenditure of taxpayer money, and I'm not sure what exception it would fit.
Well, I went to the last hospital board meeting, and if I recall right, all that was really mentioned about it was they were really close to getting a deal done that would, you know, have general surgery services. That's about the extent of it. that I remember.
here in Coffee County.
Yeah.
Because I knew that they were looking for surgeons to come in at one time.
And that's what the announcement of the partnership, I guess, that was made available to the media. I mean, we're gonna use sounds like Newman's surgeon to provide services over here at Coffee County Hospital.
They kind of already do that, don't they, with their pain clinic? The physician that takes care of that also serves at Newman's.
Greenfield?
Yes, I've had,
Yeah, I don't.
In the extent of all the partnerships, I don't know, so yeah, it
Yeah.
might be good to.
I do know one of the guys in there, in the pain clinic had worked at Newman's also.
yes, Greenfield, yeah.
Right.
'Cause I'd had several texts on it and questions, and I'm like, yeah, it's news to me. I'd like to kind of be in the loop.
But I think they did say something about when they were in here the last time, that they were looking for possibly a surgeon to come in.
They were, now I took that as an orthopedic, and they're trying to get a full-time in here.
Well, they're not looking for a full-time, but they are looking for somebody to provide the services for 1 or 2 days a week on specific days.
Or that's the way I took it when they were in the last time, Todd, but that's, yeah.
I'd just like an update now.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, they do quarterly updates, so, but if something big happens, rather have an update sooner than later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
face-to-face if we had questions instead of just having something on quarterly update on paper or email. That's all I've got.
Okay. Mark?
really don't have anything other than, did attend the Kansas Association of Counties conference there last week.
Was that good?
And, yeah, it was pretty, I mean, always learn something, whatever, but they had breakout sessions, so they had 4 or 5 breakout sessions. I know I tried to purposely go to some different ones. Todd went also, and I mean, I went to a session on digital literacy, because there's a number of departments that are, in other counties, there's departments that are utilizing AI, you know, for some different things. And I think the bottom line I got out of that was, you don't rely on AI to do all your work, because it's probably only about 80% accurate. So, then I think you went to, did you go to the water in the future?
Yes.
The water in the future of your local economy. That was one of the breakout sessions. I went to potential employment claims. You'd be impressed with them. Then I also went to 340B, which is kind of a hospital-related one. And they had wind projects, wind, AI, wind, solar. I also went to child care as infrastructure, since that's come up several times. And Jenny also went to that one. So, what else did we have? Oh, the last session. How much unencumbered cash is enough in a revenue neutral rate world? Now there's a lot of counties that are, they're going out of their way to meet the revenue neutral rate and just depleting their reserves, you know, and they're getting themselves in a big bind. And bottom line is, I mean, there's a revenue neutral rate, and that's how much money you spent the previous year. If you're justified in spending more, you know, because the cost of things go up, we all know that, but the whole idea of that is to inform the taxpayers to make sure they're aware of that, you know, of why you need that, and not just automatically raise stuff. So anyway, so they showed some financials of some counties that have been meeting revenue neutral rate, and like a lot of the money's coming out of their road and bridge. I mean, department. I mean, it just really, you can see it declining, and that's like where a lot of them go to first. I mean, then cash reserves just going down to nothing. And then, so anyway, so that was just something to think about on that. What else? Everybody seems to have a lot of the same problems, especially when it comes to property taxes.
Yeah. So, I mean, nobody likes taxes. I darn sure don't like them. You know, that's for sure. But
Yeah.
we either have to drastically cut services, or, you know, I mean, in an ideal world, you would hope that the cost of all these things we buy would hold at the same, but that hasn't been the case. And you know, it's difficult, and I really feel for people on fixed income, retired people and everything that, you know, think they have a plan for the rest of their life, and all of a sudden this cash flow starts going out of balance on them.
It's not just property taxes, but it's the, you know, insurance that's killing people.
Oh,
when
yeah.
you combine
All
that
these
with
expenses, yeah.
that,
Cost of living adjustment.
Their groceries in general, everything. Yeah.
Utility bills.
Sorry, that's all right. What I gathered on quite a few of them, we have headaches and problems here, but Coffee County's in pretty good darn shape compared to the majority of the counties in the
So
state.
there are a couple of our surrounding counties are
Yeah,
really struggling. I know.
People, some of the counties are envious of what's going on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's for sure.
But you take like your insurance premiums, I mean, it's, I mean, if you have disasters on each coast and hurricanes coming in, it's all delved out to.
Yeah, I mean, well, we're
Cost
getting
basis is spread out on everybody.
Right, exactly.
a taste of that here today, and we've, made improvements, with safety things and et cetera. Our record has helped us, but we're still going up.
Yep.
And we're trying to cut more from it. We're still going up, and I'm afraid that's just the reality of it, and I hate it for these people, for everybody.
For everybody.
Yeah.
There's a lot of counties that have built new jails too.
I know.
And they're in the jail business too.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Is that all you have for us, sir?
Yeah, that's
Okay, Mike?
Not too much.
I'm good.
I think everything I had's already been talked about today. Angie?
Yeah, I've got a couple things.
Oh, sure.
No.
I'm kidding.
Okay, so one of them is back on the EMC insurance. I guess I need to apologize a little bit on that because with elections last year and this year, I have not sent out anything about departments taking trainings or anything like that for safety, which typically is road and bridge and sheriff's office are your biggest, and then landfill and noxious weeds. So anyway, but so in the meantime, since they've left, they've responded with an email to me and Wade and said that there's a new site now that we have to register for. So do you want me to continue with that and get it set up, or do you want somebody else to do that?
Well, I would think it would be valuable, especially if somewhere down the line that we've been doing this and it could help our premiums.
Yeah.
As bonus like the one thing from the outfit was done.
Yeah. I mean, we have been doing it, but it's
Yeah.
just, I think we've kind of fallen off the rail there a little bit, but we need to get back on it. But I don't know, do you want me to set it up again as far as on behalf of the county and then email links out to departments?
Well, yeah, I think that'd be the easiest, then
think that'd
the
be
departments, maybe check in periodically,
Yeah.
are you using
Yeah.
this, go to it.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, okay.
This is something that you've already been doing.
I have, but like I said, with last year having 4 elections.
Sure, but
I think I just kind of went off,
I would say
do
just.
something you kind of don't think of, and then,
Yeah, I think
so I apologize that
No,
I
I
kind
mean,
of
this
fallen
is
on
all
that.
about wayside, but yeah.
It's really easy for the year to disappear, so we understand.
Yeah, this year it really disappeared.
So, and then, another thing was that on, just one little thing on the hospital, you were talking about them, the way I read that, somebody brought an email down of the notice, but they're going to be bringing like a surgeon here to do procedures. And so what happens like that with our insurance is that the surgeon may do business in Emporia, but they'll do business here too, but they'll bill from their office somewhere else. And I had to explain that to a couple employees that questioned that. It's not going to be billed from Newman, it's going to come from the provider's office, which if they're in network, it would still, and there is some of that can happen at Newman too. If they are a provider from somewhere else and they're in network and they go to Newman, an employee could go there and that provider could bill, but Newman's not going to.
Well, that's just questions that I was
Yeah.
looking for.
Yeah.
So we all could answer
Sure.
those.
No, that'd be great for them to still come in, but I just wanted to let you know that that's what I understood that.
Yeah.
And then, so I don't recall us doing this, but I'm not saying we haven't. I might need some help and someone reminding me. But when board members pass away that you've appointed, are we supposed to send flowers to them? I don't recall us doing that in the past, but it's been a while since anyone's passed, and I can't.
I guess I'm comfortable with us doing that.
So several years ago, there was an amendment to the policy, and I'm not sure if it made it into the new policy outside in front of me, but direct connections to the county, and I don't remember, maybe you remember, I need to bring it up. I'd have to pull it off of my computer, but there was a long, lengthy discussion about flowers or what to do for somebody who had previously served in a leadership position with the county, and then how far out do you extend that? So do you count former appointed board members as that extension? And it's okay if you do, but you just need to make sure that it carries on into the future. I don't see it as an issue. The issue going back in time, and Angie could probably correct me if I'm saying this wrong, is you'd have the county send something, and then you'd have multiple department heads also send something, and it'd be stacked on top of each other.
Yeah, we
So-
don't wanna do that.
And then there was an amount that it was capped at, and I don't remember what that is it 75?
Yeah,
100?
if there's a memorial, we do more, if the money goes to a memorial, but then if it's 75, and sometimes we have to increase that depending on how much plants go up, because they have increased over the years, so.
So just establishing what those bumpers are and boundaries, does it go for a board member and then, second cousin twice removed? I mean, you have to have a layer there. So I only mention that because it came up in 2019, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And that's when that amendment to that policy came in place.
So it could either, like if it's a member that's serving and they pass, would that be a yes? And then if it's a member that has served and they're off now, I mean, we're gonna miss people, I'm afraid, if we do that. 'Cause-
And that's when the problems start. You did so-and-so, and
Yeah.
I've been through that with the school,
So I just wanted some
I
direction.
would just stick with current members.
Pardon?
Wouldn't you just stick with current members? I would think current members and maybe a card for the others.
Yeah.
If you know of it.
Card.
Or something, okay.
Well, I think that's what everybody's wishes are, that's what everybody's wishes is.
So you're saying, card?
Because the reason is there's a question now about one that we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And I apologize, but
No, that's what we
today we
need to
gotta
do.
know.
Because I didn't know I didn't know what our policy was on that for sure. I couldn't recall. I guess, would everybody okay with us sending a card then?
Oh, wow, cards are good. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no problems.
Okay. So cards for past, flowers and memorial for present.
Yeah.
Okay. Lastly.
So would that, excuse me,
Mm-hmm.
so would that cover, like if it's a present member, then if their spouse passes away, are we gonna send flowers to their present member?
I would think so. That's just my thoughts on that.
Yeah. That's my thought,
I think so.
so. For immediate family, just a spouse,
And I think that policy defined immediate family to include spouse, child, but did not include, the cousin going out, because
Yeah.
where do you stop? So
Sure, I understand, no, I'm fine with that, I just didn't touch on that that's who were immediate members and their immediate family. For current members is what I mean to say, I guess, immediate family.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, and then lastly, so we have the gift certificates for employees in now, and I didn't know if you guys wanted us to, if you guys wanted to go hand them around to offices, to departments, or you want us to just put them in their boxes, or how would you like to handle that, or you want to do it next Monday?
How's it normally handled, Angie?
It's been every way. It's been every way. We've had some commissioners just say, just put them in their boxes. We've had some commissioners want to physically go deliver the pack to each office.
Could they be
turn it over to your department head meetings.
We can do that. That's. Well, you guys will be there, right?
I think I'm going today because I'm staying for that deal at the lake.
You're good, you can
2:30.
pass it out.
And then if there are some that aren't there, we
Yeah,
can
just put them in
them off.
boxes, yeah. Good.
All right, that's all I have today.
Painless.
Are those pictures today for like,
Yes, 3:30.
Good talk.
yeah, I seen the email she sent out, I never got a time.
I'm done with it.
Okay. Well, anything else, I guess, so we have cards we could pass around here after
I will go get one real quick.
Okay,
Are you all gonna hang around? Can you hang around?
that's what I didn't know if we could, if you have one available,
Let me see. I don't know if we do, but
so we could sign.
Yes.
In your, revenue neutral discussions
Or
at
is that-
KC, did they have any examples of any counties that decided to go
Oh, she does.
under?
She does it all. I don't care.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can they go under? Is all the bills are paying off and stuff?
Yeah, there was, were they the ones that had the alternative energy? That was,
But that's all.
they were using some of the revenue
Yeah.
from, so, I mean, obviously, just smaller counties and smaller budgets.
I'll just
They're
try to
really
little I'll take care of that. I'll just call her. That's my
I've been told there's
Cause that danger doing good and well with getting into
going under.
He spoke with, he
Okay.
cautioned.
I'll run and grab it. I don't have one here, but I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
You just can't go to the bank and get money.
Yeah.
That was another thing that they talked about.
Good day, Mr. Jones.
How are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's always told us
Fine,
you're
fine.
so to the point where you don't end up getting yourself in trouble.
Another thing was
How you, Brad?
to, when you have to invest
Okay, I think
money,
a little blind from staring at the computer too much.
County treasurer go in and negotiate, instead of waiting to sit out there and just negotiate for better.
Well, I don't know, I'm
This is a little different, piece of candy for Galva. 0.5% usually.
I didn't know she had a stack of them down her desk.
That's my fault.
They would keep some of these cards are.
Just, and he said, why haven't you getting it?
I mean,
Look at the age, I mean, look at the age of some of them, some of them feel older every time. It's true.
I think Heidi went to get one.
For the zoning board.
Danger.
Down the line.
And I've been told there's danger in borrowing or taking money from your reserves to keep things under. I think you're gonna see some of those issues begin to surface here in the future if we're not careful.
The way some of those counties were talking, it's almost like they think it's state law. They can't go above the revenue neutral rate. Just need to make sure everybody's informed.
It was created for transparency.
Yeah.
So people knew what was going on.
I don't think we do on federal.
I think the problem is, when you have those hearings, all the discussion that occurred
I don't think we do.
prior to the day you have that hearing, isn't
This is
necessarily
not the same.
how that is. For example, here you start in the sixties and you go down to just over. I think it gets
I
lost.
just seen the name, I didn't know if that same guy that we were dealing with. Waters or bad waters or whatever.
Right.
the previous
Well, yeah, he's overseeing,
building?
yeah,
I didn't realize he was on
but
there.
he's on hospital.
I was gonna bring up the Chiefs today, but the Lions didn't fare any better yesterday, so.
Did they have anybody as bad as Travis Kelce sacking afterwards?
I didn't see that.
That Buffalo Patriots game was pretty impressive. That was,
Yeah, Buffalo was down, what, 3 touchdowns at one
they got
time?
21 or 24 points
Yeah,
at one
yeah.
time.
They came back and
Yeah, that was a good game. Be interesting to see what Kansas City does the rest of the year now, because
they're out.
Oh,
course.
Holmes is out too.
yeah,
The rest of the
the
year.
rest of the season.
Yeah, Mahomes, yeah.
So you got Gardner
I think
Minshew.
you're better off just to lose out the rest of the year.
Gardner Minshew. Since Mahomes tore his ACL.
Yeah.
Minshew he's a good backup.
Well, I think he is, but yesterday was the first time he's thrown a pass
Well,
in a game.
he did good until that last one.
Yeah, he did.
Till the third
Intercepted.
attempt.
Said, yeah, should have kept on
Yeah.
moving. Do you think?
It's unfortunate.
Oh, Green Bay Denver game was a pretty good one too.
And watch bits and pieces of it.
Yep.
Apparently the Seattle and Colts game was good too. You had Phillip Rivers
Yeah,
come
now
out of,
there's 2 field goals there at the end.
they're showing highlights. He hadn't played. He retired, what, 4 years ago? He was
Yeah.
actually in the nominees for
Hall of Fame.
the Hall of Fame. And he was. So they had to pull his name because he went back. He's 44.
Yeah, I
You
think,
saw him drop back a couple times and he kind of stumbled around.
I think that's what they said, he's 44 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll have some news about who the next Michigan coach is amongst the scandal.
That is unbelievable. It just keeps getting deeper and deeper.
Oh, it's horrible.
Just
And he's a Kansas kid.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. He's from Derby.
How we going? He was doing a great job of coaching. I mean, good news.
One of the things
Oh, thank you.
the money that the university wanted to spend between KU and K-State on turning bowl games down.
There's a lot of them.
As a booster, I would not be happy about that. $500 million. Could be prepping more, practicing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I'm holding everybody up here. I thought this might be a little easier, but there might be a car available, you know, so
She'll be right back.
she was on her way out.
Is that
List of the fair board.
Oh,
There's quite a few people.
yeah.
It's impressive.
I think you might ask that, who appoints those people?
Fair board does.
I was on it for years.
Heidi gave that to me. Apparently they're wanting to reroute some emergency routes for evacuation or something. I haven't looked at it that much.
And that go through emergency,
That's what I told her too.
emergency.
Get with Amber,
Yeah.
need to read the other side. I told her, that or Wolf Creek or somebody.
Well, I think it'd be Wolf Creek Emergency Preparedness and,
Amber?
yeah,
I would too, so.
because when we do our training, who's proposing it? I didn't read that. Oh.
There is a shared moving. That should be Shetland. Or Shetland.
Shetland, should be Shetland. Yeah.
It's an acronym. I don't know if there's a Sheridan Road in this.
There's not,
I didn't think there was either.
there's not.
I won't talk to her until Wait, did they find a place to put all the furniture for district court?
There you go.
I got a call last week. Go use this,
Angie, is she available? Get somebody with better handwriting than I've got.
Not me.
Auto pen.
Could I, could I get someone with some better handwriting here? I mean, obviously you can
Oh, okay.
address that letter for my
Yeah.
picture.
You just want me to write your name in it?
Well, I want to know, to the family of them or whatever, or maybe you just put that on the envelope, I don't know, maybe we just need to sign the card, that's all we need to do. Whatever's best, I don't know. If it just needs addressed to them and us just signing the card, that's probably fine.
Some sympathy, or, I don't know what we use.
Here, you.
I mean, maybe all we need to do is just sign our names to it and.
We had a
On
news,
behalf of
only we had a
the
newspaper
commissioners.
guy who was fluent.
Yeah, on behalf of
Correct verbiage
county
and
commission or something. would
the
you mind
English
writing that on?
language. Right, it was mentioned, so we can extend or keep it simple, please.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe that.
be fine, yeah. And Heidi just messaged me back, they're sending one from the a card from the planning board also, so. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm trying to think,
$555,000. That's right.
That's right.
do you wanna take this with you today then? Or wait, is it here?
Visitations tonight.
Is it here?
Visitations tonight at the funeral.
Oh, okay.
The service is in the house, but I believe.
Okay. That'll work. I just was like, how do we get it there quickly?
I can take it down there.
Okay.
I can just write it down to funeral home.
All right.
That's where the visitation is, isn't it?
Should I just put to the family or file?
I'll confirm that.
Okay.
in it's a funeral home tonight, 5 to 7.
I'll just write it down there.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you for getting that.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's been a week, I'm sorry. Okay. I don't know why I
We're all
thought it was
sitting there
gonna take
looking
so
at you
long
like-
take so long to sign a card. I just thought, well, it's gonna be a while.
We're
All
not
right.
listening to the table.
Okay.
We're just relaxed.
All right. There's nothing else. I guess we'll adjourn at 12:56.